Hi everyone, my name is Callie Whitman, and today I have the pleasure of introducing Hayden Hedges. When I first moved to St. Mary's in the middle of COVID, Hayden made it a point to introduce herself to me on my very first day. She was one of the first names I learned, and she greeted me in the hall with a smile and call of my name every single time she saw me. During a time when I felt nervous and lonely, Hayden made sure to present herself as a familiar and kind person. She is smart, super funny, and genuinely one of the nicest people in our class. She has a genuine connection with every single person in our grade, and I can think of no better cheerleader for St. Mary's than Hayden. Okay, now, upper school. Follow along. So, it's time for the Hayden, Hedges. Hayden Hedges. Hey, Hayden Hedges. Woo! Thank you.
My unsuspecting parents dropped me off at Grace St. Luke's middle school dance. It was going to just be another Saturday night for the classes of 2023 and 24. We all waited in line with no hands by Waka Flocka Flame at the front of our minds and still ringing in our ears. Most of the girls in my grade were sporting the classic dance uniform, the tube top and envelope skirt combo. I had worn this for the past handful of functions, so I thought tonight was the perfect opportunity to try new things. The teachers at the check-in table marked my name in school, and I found my way to the bathroom, quickly running into a stall so no one would notice me with my duffel bag weighing down on my forearm. What unfolded in the next half hour was unprecedented in the halls of Grace St. Luke's. I maneuvered myself out of the bathroom and scurried into the gym, sprinting past the preoccupied chaperones and staff. Working through the crowd of my rowdy middle school peers had been a difficulty in the past, but tonight, everyone seemed to clear away at the sight of me. My figure had inflated, with my height now reaching 7 feet tall and my torso almost 4 feet wide. I knew my time was limited, so I began to run, not out of the gym, but in fast, wide circles. Hands pushed into me, trying to knock me off my balance, but I kept my control steady. Through my grid view of the darkness that surrounded me, I was determined to cut through the couples exhibiting profound levels of PDA on the dance floor. I broke it down a bit and was having an overall fantastic night until I felt a hand firmly land on my shoulder. I was then led out of the gym and the brightness seeped into my eyes. I need your name, your school, your parents' name, and their phone number. Nervously, I looked down at my hands. My arms barely reached a foot in length, with only 3 fingers attached to each hand. My fingernails had grown long and dark, and speckles covered my limbs and stomach. My eyes were turned to the visibly annoyed chaperone in front of me. Take the T-Rex costume off now. I returned to the bathroom with my head held high, but I was not alone in my grand exodus. I was swarmed by friends of friends, and total strangers. The regularly scheduled middle school dance had pivoted in a new direction the moment a dinosaur hit the dance floor. Luckily for the rest of my peers, my wild stunts did not end after that fateful night. Later in my 7th grade year, everyone wanted a snow day, but no one wanted to wait for that 6 a.m. text message. I heard the people's cries and got to typing. With my iPod Touch in hand, I constructed my formally written email to Mr. Throckmorton, urging that he consider the students and their personal safety. I hit send. I had done the unthinkable, and my father was mortified. As could be expected, Mr. T responded to my email just a few minutes before 6 a.m. the following morning. While he appreciated my initiative in writing, he assured me that he'd consulted with a dozen other heads of schools and that we were in session that day. In chapel later that morning, my 7th grade class packed into the pews, and I situated myself comfortably. Mr. Throckmorton then approached the mic and admitted to the audience that he'd scrapped his original chapel talk. This was bad. I straightened in my seat. He explained that he'd received emails yesterday evening from 2 7th graders desperate for a snow day. He expressed that this was what he loved most about St. Mary's girls. We take initiative, and we're not afraid to speak our minds. or speak for others. Chapel ended, and I expected my trepidation to end with it. Wrong. Mr. Throckmorton wanted to meet with us. He approached us in the high school hallway, and from my seventh grader perspective, he looked bigger than the T-Rex costume I'd worn just months before. While Emerson and I feared detention, suspension, or being burned at the stake, Mr. Throckmorton shook our hands and jokefully admitted that he just wanted to match the faces to the emails. I could breathe again. Dressing as an unsolicited dinosaur at a middle school function and emailing the head of school on behalf of my seventh grade, while only in my second year at St. Mary's, I built a reputation of being the bold classmate. I was comfortable of just being the funny friend because this all came naturally to me. Jump forward to my sophomore year of high school, and my lacrosse team had just won state. Did I play in any of the games? Not usually. Did I ride the bench to state? I did. Did I have any problem with this? No. A state ring is a state ring. When I met with Coach B at the end of the season, he told me two things. One, I'm a wild card of a player. This meant I could do really great things on the field, but also had the tendency to fumble decently hard. He followed up on that, saying that I should consider the cross-country team. I was aware that I was not the best, but this was brutal. Beyond my work on the field, he assured me that it was my energy and my leadership that made me a vital member of my team. Imagine playing a sport for 6 years and only getting credit for your sideline energy. I did not let this meeting discourage me, though. I did the unthinkable once again and showed up one early morning to a cross-country practice the following June. The people there thought I was there as a joke or lost a bet. But I sweated profusely through my first 3-mile run and barely survived, but I made it. By the end of my first season as a junior, I'd accepted that most of the underclassmen and a singular middle schooler were much faster than me. Outside of meets and practices, I got to know Coach Henserling through my AP World classes, the ones I was awake for. We didn't know each other before she was my coach or my history teacher, but we were quick friends. And as friends do, she helped me figure out my role on the team as a new member. Was I going to break any records? No. Was Abby Rothrock going to lap me on the track? Probably more than once. Once again, a coach had told me that I'd add success to the team most through my abstract qualities of leadership and energy. Entering my senior season of both cross-country and lacrosse, I felt I'd improved as an athlete in both sports, but still I felt stuck. I wanted to be credited for actually doing things well on the field and track. What difference would my energy actually make? Emotions from middle school began to arise in me. I'd felt obligated to be the class clown for most of my career and feared it was too late to change this notion. Humor, respect, and intelligence felt like 3 mutually exclusive traits, with only one being within my reach. Even now, I struggle to find the healthy balance between my silliness and when it's time to lock in. Coach B. I apologize for the uncanny number of comments I make during practices, but like I said, I'm working on it. My lacrosse journey is not over, and my stick skills do have 6 weeks left to reach their full potential. My biggest takeaway from my athletic career at St. Mary's is that it is okay if the main things you bring to the table are your good leadership and positive energy. Succeeding in those 2 categories will earn you the respect that decent athleticism will not. Seize the opportunity to practice bringing out the best in the people around you. And if you are a wild card of a player, like me, don't discredit your great moments with your mess-ups. Circling back to my email correspondence with Mr. Throckmorton. Even though my attempt at a snow day had failed in 2018, I thought it was worth another shot in January of 2023. Using the same thorough wording from my 7th grade email, I emphasized that with the forecast calling for half an inch of ice on the roads, we needed to stay far, far away from such hazards. Rather than the paragraph response I received 5 years ago, Mr. Throckmorton hit me back with a, "Yes, I agree," rolling on the floor laughing. This was lit, and my dad was still just as horrified as he'd been the first go around. I screenshotted our conversation, and the senior group me never was the same. Thank you.
So I am co-tensioning, as many of you know, and I'm inviting my new friend up here, Hayden's dad, Posey Hedges, and we are going to play a little song. He's going to sing, I am not. We're going to play a little song for AD, Hayden, and the class of 2023.
Well, thank you. Hard act to follow. You remind me of a Sunday back home in old Kentucky, with the church choirs just belting through the pines. And I love you like the mountains, loves the way the morning opens, with a change rise, a soft greeting from the sun. If I make you stay, I wouldn't act so angry all the time. I wouldn't hold it all inside. I'd let you know how much I love you every day. So darling, won't you stay right here and shake the frost off my bones. I used to ride a Mustang, and I'd run that car on high hopes, till they raised the price of dreams so high I couldn't pay. So I let that car just sit there, when I should have took you driving, with the radio on while the music played. If it make you stay, I wouldn't act so angry all the time. I wouldn't keep it all inside, and I'd let you know how much I loved you every day. So darling, won't you stay right here and shake the frost off my bones. So darling, won't you stay right here and shake the frost off my bones. Thank you.